Iceman was an accountant.
What?
Iceman was an accountant.
Before...
Iceman, there was a time... Welcome to a comic book look. We got issue 39. We're back at you again. This is John, Tom. John?
What?
No, Tom? No, okay. No, I'm Tom. This is John. This is your weekly TV show on comic books and anything relating to comics. We're coming at you from InveterateMediaJunkies.com, hosting the videos. If you're watching on YouTube, you're late. Get over to InveterateMediaJunkies.com. But thanks again for coming back. We're going to have a good show again. Issue 39, of course. And we're doing a email show. We got one good email from Ed. Thank you so much for writing us. He's another contributor on Inveterate Media Junkies, and he wrote us a good email, so we'll get into that. And then we'll also cover the books that we got today. Once again, New Comic Book Wednesday, our favorite day of the week. Yeah, so what's up, John? How we doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. Question for you, though. I heard a little bit of news today from Gabe at work, you know, because at work, you know, we're paid to talk about comic books, you know?
Exactly.
But, no, seriously, Ultimate Spider-Man Miles meets Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. Yay or nay?
I heard about it. Could care less, I guess. I don't know. Not paying attention to Ultimate. I've never read an Ultimate Spider-Man book. Yeah. Gabe did say that it has been his favorite superhero comic of like the last 10 years, so I do understand that it's a really long run that Bendis has had, and that's cool that people are really into it, but I think people who are not into it, it's not really that big of a deal to do.
I don't know, yeah, I mean, I was reading the comments or whatever. It's really fun on when they post Facebook, things like that, from Newsarama, Marvel, whatever. You have your negative Nancy's and you have your oh my gods cheerleaders. Yeah. But it was really kind of interesting to see, like, kind of the reactions, some of them, and there was a lot of indifference that I noticed, too, and, oh, why are we doing this? Like, really, what's the point? And how is so-and-so going to react to seeing a live Peter? So, I don't know, it's fair.
But whatever. I mean, it's comic books. It's a gimmick. It's the one more thing, the next thing to spike sales for an issue, and that's, of course, why they're doing it. And so they can show the new Spider-Man meets the old Spider-Man. And, I mean, they've been doing that forever. I mean, there's when the Golden Age comic heroes, they had the new renditions in the Silver Age, they all ended up meeting. Of course. That's what happens. And it's the same kind of thing. They're just seeing each other again. So, do I think it's a big deal? No, it's, just another day in comics, and something, I guess, for people to write about and talk about and complain about online. Sure. Come on, there's better things to talk about than that, but, that's just me. And Spider-Man is, I do understand, everybody's, favorite. So, he carries a lot of weight, just not in my books. That's kind of under my radar, not really worrying about it too much.
Totally.
But that's kind of like the whole Ultimate universe to me. So, maybe I'm missing out on something crazy. You let me know, people. What am I missing from just not reading Ultimate comics?
Giant Man beats the Wasp. And Ultimate Avengers, I don't know. Gabe's let me borrow those big trades of, and a lot of stuff in there.
So a lot of horrible, shocking, violent moments against wives.
I suppose. No, seriously, it's like a different side of
totally.
Giant Man. Very, very different from what we're used to in traditional.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what the thing. They can do anything, and they got Mark Millar writing. So whatever, not for me, but I'm sure a lot of people are all up and about it. So it's I think this week is C2E2 in Chicago. So some people I'm sure are going to be going to that, the huge comic convention, so that'll be pretty cool. So what I always like to see are the conventions is afterwards, there's a bunch of interviews and stuff with creators, so that I get to watch on videos and stuff like that, and I usually, CBR or someplace does live coverage, and I usually always like to try to watch that too. It's kind of fun. So, yeah. Pay attention to that too, guys.
It's interesting because, sorry guys, I gotta pull up, we're doing an email show, but I also, with that, We actually got a present from a friend of ours, Jim Murray. And Jim, interestingly enough, now that you mentioned Chicago, is intending on being at that con. And if you are in the area, he's going to be at table D6, evidently. So,
D6,
D6.
C2E2. Who's this guy?
Jim Murray. He is a friend of Gabe's, and he
Oh,
is
yeah.
actually the one that gave us an issue. He wrote it, and it is the Bride of Promethean? I can't. Yeah, Bride of Promethean. And the issue itself, it's really clever. We're actually going to be doing more of an in-depth review of it on a future episode, but we are always happy to review local, and in his case, he traveled all over the country, so
Sure.
I'll say he's local because he's awesome.
Yeah, but he has ties down to here, so,
Exactly.
you know, a friend of ours, a friend of the show,
Exactly.
Gabe Nightshield that you saw from issue 6, his friend wrote this comic, so, you know, check him out if you are at C2E2. Yeah, and definitely Jim Murray's his name, so definitely check
You
it out.
see him,
Bride
say
of
hi.
Promethean. And get his comic, why not? Support local art. I hope a lot of people are getting sketches and fun things. I can't wait to go to a con myself.
Definitely.
Anyway, let's get to Ed's question.
We can definitely do that.
Okay, you just read it straightforward all the way through.
The whole email?
Yeah, why not?
Are you sure there's that part that, you know?
Okay, then
I'm
no.
just playing. Alright. Ed writes, Tom and John. Hey guys, I'm still loving the show. It's really been great and I love watching you guys go back and forth on various topics. We don't do that. Would I ever do that?
What?
I was wondering if maybe in a future show you might approach the subject of relationships in comics. Not what are your favorite couples, but more like when do you feel the ups and downs of a relationship are portrayed believably? When is it done well and when is it done poorly? He does bring up an example of Peter Parker and Mary Jane.
Very famous.
Yeah, they were portrayed very nicely in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. They were smart. They were smart, likable kids who started out as friends, who grew into boyfriend-girlfriend and had occasional conflicts. However, in one moment in time, both were depicted terribly and acted in unbelievable ways to serve the plots. Which, you know, we do see a lot of just characters, you know, cannon fodder to the plot. And
Totally.
that's a show in itself. We'll leave that one alone. In real life, they would have been seen as incredibly weak, needy, and, in Peter's case, horribly selfish. And then, as a married man, maybe Tom could address the subject of marriage in comics. Anyway, just food for thought. Thanks for listening. Keep the comics, Ed. Right.
Thanks, Ed. Sweet, man. And you covered a lot of ground, Ed, and love the big question. But basically what he wants to hear is, you know, relationships in comics. And he's not just wanting us to list, you know, Lois Lane and you know, Superman and,
Right.
you know,
It's
all
not,
the other
it's
ones.
not prom photos.
He wants, you know, how is it affecting the story? And I really like that question more than, what are your guys' favorite, you know, couples?
Yeah.
And so that's a, you know, gets you thinking, and because when it's done great, and there can be huge tension with having a wife and being a superhero and putting your life on the line and still having a family, and there's huge tension that way, and it can be done really well, or it can be really done really stupidly, and there also can be just like relationships, you know, that are always clashing, but they, you know, you want to be able to make it work, but it can't work. That is also a very common thing in, I guess, all stories, and you know, it can be done good and it can be done really bad. I want to start off with first saying my currently the best, you know, current rendition of what this question can be holding is in Animal Man. Buddy Baker has a family. It is a family book. His wife and his 2 kids are in every episode. His mother are in every episode issue. His mother-in-law has jumped into these issues. She has big problems with him being there. You know, he wants to do everything he can, but his daughter may be more powerful than him. So she may be having to go into more dangerous situations that he doesn't want to let him go in. And so then the relationship between the whole family is on a strain, and then especially between, you know, Buddy Baker and his wife, because he's a superhero, he needs to do the right thing, and she has accepted that, but, you know, it's something that she has to deal with on when she's like, we need you here, buddy, you need to protect us, and he has to go fight the rot. So it's how Jeff Lemire handles their relationship. They're like kind of a cool, upbeat couple that really kind of does have it all together and is confident in what they are, even though they're different than a lot of other aspects of probably relationships. And that's how I feel like I am with my wife. I think our relationship is very different than what the by the book marriage would go. You meet somebody, you fall in love, you get married, you have kids, blah blah blah. It's like we definitely did not take that route at all. And we have a way different relationship. We're very confident with each other. We know that we trust each other undoubtedly. So we don't have those little bickerings and things that you would find in some relationships. And because of that, I think that we're like kind of common with Buddy Baker. I'm not a superhero. I can't change into an animal. I'm working on that. But besides that, I like reading it and seeing that comparison, and then also just having unique, cool kids. I think my kids are cool and unique, and so I think we have a whole kind of different family. I mean, me and Jenna, my wife, were together for like 8 years before we got married, and we had already had 2 kids, and so we did things in the order that we wanted to do it, and I think Buddy Baker would appreciate that. So that's kind of like right away answering kind of 2 of your questions there, Ed, about like how my relationship, being married, comes into how I can look at different stories and plots and comics. How about you, John? Relationship.
Whew. Well, kind of this topic, and it's so ironic. I'm basically going to give up one of my gunshot reviews with this one, but New Avengers
shotgun.
Whatever.
I'm just kidding.
I just make terms up as we go. New Avengers 24. The cover has Cyclops, my favorite, and Captain America. Going at each other in conflict with Wolverine. Like, no. Interestingly enough, that has pretty much nothing to do with the issue itself.
Of course.
This is actually all about Luke Cage and Jessica.
Oh, okay.
And Jessica actually left the Avengers Mansion with Squirrel Girl, the nanny, because Osborn threatened their kid. And Jessica's like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be a part of this team. Daughter's in trouble. G2G.
And we're still worrying about Osborn again? I mean,
well, he's in jail. He's in jail now. So, Luke Cage gets on TV, baby, come back, let's talk about this. So she shows up like, what the hell are you doing? But it's this pages of just powerful dialogue. You see, father-daughter moments. A side of Luke Cage that we don't get to see as much, and then this issue really hit it home. So I really appreciated that. It really just boils down to, Luke, we gotta leave. Are you gonna stay on the team, or are you gonna come be a father and a husband kind of thing? So in the end, Luke's jumping out of that plane with the Avengers to go fight the X-Men. So it's just kind of like he has priorities, and that's got to be a tough decision. Like, if you're in that boat, if you had to go fight clans of Highlanders, I mean, what would you do, man?
I look at my wife and I say, there can only be one. And I jump out of the plane.
Exactly. With its sword. Yeah, 2 swords. But, yeah. No, I mean, it's just...
that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that relationship.
Yeah.
Alias is where this originated from. It was a Max book that Brian Michael Bendis, which is the Avengers god, who's wrote more Avengers books than any other person. And yeah, you can really tell because he ran out of ideas like 2 years ago. Anyway, he did awesome work on Alias. Is such a good book. It's about this superhero who went by Jewel, I think.
Yes.
And I'm not positive. And she was very a low tier superhero, and then becomes a private dick, and it's just so great. It's such a great book, and it's can't believe it kind of, because he made this Max book. Jessica got brought into the Marvel regular universe as a love interest of Luke Cage, and had a baby, and that's the whole family. That you're giving Luke Cage like some depth finally, instead of just the hero for hire strong guy who's never really had anything but was a dullish character until you give him that depth. And so I really like that.
Totally agree.
Too. Check out Alias if you guys get a chance.
So that's one that really
Yeah.
stood out to me.
Totally. Another one that is a working relationship that is, you feel that, how does she put up with it and how does she still do it is definitely Sue Storm and Reed Richards. I mean, he's constantly worrying about, he's basically one of the smartest men on the earth. I remember when they were naming the smartest where he was under top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
And, so he can cure all these things. He can invent all these things. He can do all these things. Things need to be stopped. Aliens are invading. He needs to stop the negative zone from coming out. There's people over here. He has to help this alien race. He needs help to race another world. There's all these things going on, and that's what he's always thinking about. And it's just like so hard for him to concentrate on Sue, and that becomes I think a big point of the book where Sue is such a powerful, independent woman. Arguably the most powerful person in the Fantastic Four, and because of that, she doesn't really. It's not like she needs Reed to be around, but I think that Reed does give up a lot, and Sue puts up with a lot, and then stories do revolve around that,
Yeah.
and breaking points can happen when Reed has been grown out his beard. He's been in the lab too long. They give him that scratchy face every once in a while. He's been in the lab way too long, and it's like, come back to reality, spend a little time with your wife. But, so that's a relationship that I like, because obviously Fantastic Four, you guys know that I like Fantastic Four by now. But that's kind of been workable and kind of cool aspect of how, they're probably arguing, and it's not a perfect relationship, but obviously there's love there, and they stay together forever, so.
Yeah.
Word up, you got some more relationships that you can think of?
Well, one that I guess comes to mind, and it's not really a very good example at all, is just Heather and Mac Hudson from Alpha Flight. Just
Why is
all over the board, man. Like,
yeah, that's not a bad one
he's
at all.
almost
Give them
kinda-
some background. People don't know. You can't just say those names in
What?
Alpha Flight and expect people to know who it are, because you're one of the only true Alpha Flight fans, bro. So I mean, give them a little more background. Who is this?
Well, Alpha Flight is Marvel Comics' Canadian superhero team, and Heather and Mac. Mac was the original leader, I guess, of Alpha Flight, and then Heather eventually took over when he died in an explosion. Their powers they don't have powers. They're actually electromagnetic suits that allow them flights and a force field and energy blast and all that fun hoo-ha. So Heather actually took over the team as a leadership, and they actually flip-flop names constantly, Guardian and Vindicator. So they're pretty much the same. Like when they fight, it's like the same person fighting the same person in terms of their powers, and it's really ridiculous, which is exactly what happened in this 8-issue run with Alpha Flight and Alpha Strike.
And well, I mean, they kind of always like the original, the old ones. You see them together. They look exactly the same. They got the Canadian
But you're
flag,
used to that, yeah.
and it's like boom. They're always together.
Almost like North Star and Aurora. Yeah, same thing.
Well, kind of.
Flyers, yeah. So, but
yeah, totally.
So the reason why I say the relationship's not exactly, the best is because there's a lot of that tension. They have a kid. I haven't seen the three of them in the same comic panel in quite some time. So there's a lot
I haven't seen an Alpha Flight in a comic panel in quite some time.
Anyways, no, but it's a real on and off relationship, kind of an offbeat thing, and it's just because of all the events. Like when he dies, comes back, she actually meets a cybernetic clone of him, thinking it's him. So her heart is pretty much in tatters at this point. She's tough skin, etc. So Heather knows what's up, and Mac's kind of the same way. Like he died, went to outer space or something. So just all this odd stuff.
Yeah.
That surrounds it. I think that Heather should have gone with Puck.
I agree too. I think Puck needs some loving anytime he gets a chance.
He needs some loving.
That's awesome. You got to bring up Alpha Flight. I love the showing the love for Alpha Flight. I think if you're talking about another current comics that is constantly dealing with relationships, not always just marriage or boyfriend and girlfriend, but just constant relationships and character development over story and everything else, is going to be X Factor. I mean, it is constantly about, like, he's hooking up with him, and she's hooking up with her, and he's hooking up with her, and he might have messed around with her, and she's dead, and he's gone, and this isn't the real
had
guy.
A wolf god baby.
Yeah, and this baby's coming, and it's so. Check out that as well if you like relationship comics. That kind of just popped in my mind.
It really is kind of a soap opera.
It totally is. I mean, it totally is.
It's such a lighthearted book, though.
But it is. I mean, that's what's so fun about that compared to all those other books. New relationship, or I mean, not a new relationship, a relationship that has come together to be made one of the greatest books of all time is going to be in Preacher. You know, Jessie and I should have looked up her name. I can't believe I forgot. But the main girl in Preacher. Preacher is a book of that people are thinking, oh my God, it's so many crazy things are happening, and this is. There's like, a guy with an asshole on his face, and, like, there's Hair Star, and he's like, gets raped and then finds out he loves, anal sex, and, there's just horrible things happening all the time, like incest, and just so many shocking, terrible things, Jesus being, or the most latest descendant of Jesus being just, like, inbred, so he's just, like, retarded, and it's just so things that would drive everybody crazy. Something to make everybody be mad. And throughout this whole crazy mix-up of all this stuff, there's this undeniable love between Tulip, I just thought of it, and Jessie. Tulip and Jessie, they love each other. There's nothing in this whole entire world that can keep each other apart. It's that old school kind of love where he is the old badass. He loves her no matter what. And he's going to protect her no matter what. Always puts her no matter what. And, it's like, no matter what they go through, the reason that Preacher is so good is not because of all those other crazy things that are supposed to be shocking, that can be really over the top and stupid even. It is, what makes it so good is their relationship and how that drives through for all 60 or 70 issues that it goes, and that's one of the strongest relationships in comics. And that's a limited series. I mean, a series that ended, you don't get to see it anymore, but it still resonates 20 years later. And check it out. Preacher, Tulip, Jessie, great relationship. Yeah. So, yeah, you got anything else? Magneto, Rogue, Gambit.
Oh man, I don't want to get into that. One thing along those lines, though, I guess that kind of I just thought about was actually Betsy and Warren, so Angel and Psylocke, and kind of in the before X-Force turned horrible, there was the Dark Angel saga, and it was to the point where they were training to go on this mission, and Angel had already been possessed by the Apocalypse persona, and so they're like, Betsy, if it comes down to it, are you going to be able to kill him? Oh yeah, I got this. Yeah, but no, I mean so it's that struggle. I mean, those two had such a dynamic thing, and they unfortunately, I'd like to say they are now, except Angel's kind of lost mentally. He thinks he actually is an angel, and kind of all the history and stuff is gone. To me, I don't know. That's the one thing I don't like about Wolverine and the X-Men, to see an angel as a vegetable like that, because it's not. It's one of the 5 founding X-Men, and you have Iceman doing the books, the financial books at a school, and then Angel's like, I'm an angel? Like, the book, it's so upside down. I guess I like it, but I don't.
Iceman was an accountant.
What?
Iceman was an accountant.
Before...
Iceman, there was a time where they were trying to develop Iceman into a character, and he had, his own series, and I have read it. I think I might even have it, and... I'm pretty sure it was just Iceman. It could have been something else, but it was revolving around Iceman, and he was an accountant.
Because
that is why he's doing the books. Jason Aaron loves continuity.
Wowzers.
I'd like to first of all, I just like to hear that Jason Aaron is using Iceman. You know,
yeah.
He needs to be back.
But the character got slept on for so long. I mean, I didn't know that. I'm used to the easy going, ice sliding, whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion,
relationships rock. I mean, first of all,
when they're done right.
Story, we're talking stories here in general. Comics, film, prose, TV, it like almost will always have a relationship, revolve around relationships. Something is going to be a part of it. So it is a huge part in everything. These are just the ones that came off of the top of our head because Ed sent us an email and we're like, shit, we need a reason for a show. We're doing Ed's email. And, you know, so there's tons more. Check it out. Tell us what you guys think are your,
Bring us your favorite
relationships and kind
why.
of explain why and how they better the story. And, you know, thanks for watching again, and we are going to jump into new comics. Alright, we got a whole bunch of good comics, and I've been doing that special, what I like to do is image number one. I don't buy all image number ones because they've put out so many, but damn near. And if Hickman's writing it, I'm getting it. Look at this cover. That's going to really stand out. Obviously a picture, not drawn in any way, just says secret and a giant shed of white teeth. And it was kind of a weird first issue. I liked it, you know, but really just kind of in-depth and really about secrets. I mean, almost like this firm that can help protect you, but they need to know all your secrets and what it's like to give up that secret. And then I guess that's what it would kind of be about, but I mean, they never say that or anything. I mean, it's like totally derived from so much dialogue coming back and forth through what's happening. You kind of really figure it out. The colors are coming into play a lot, and also since the colors are changing a lot, the characters you think are changing, and it's really kind of confusing sometimes on who's still talking. And I don't know if that's supposed to be that way or if it's just supposed to be I don't know, like, you know, like green, gray, yellow, blue. So it's not like one color, you know, it's constantly switching around where these are the same characters and they're kind of thrown off, and I'm not really sure what it's doing with that coloring. But of course you have Jonathan Hickman. You can just tell it has a lot to do with the design. Look how just black, white, and red into a complete design page, into your title page, a full set title page that says Chapter 1, Teeth with Which to Eat, and you know, it has some crazy teeth broken into. And then he loves these title pages, and they really kind of do something cool for the story because they take so much time. They're really taking you out of the story, and then blank page bringing you back in. And I think it's a really cool way to do it. So yeah, definitely Jonathan Hickman always coming up with different ideas for, you know, doing cool storytelling. So that's the image number one to pick up this week, which you're watching it basically when the next week's comics are. So look in last week's comics for this.
Totally, man.
What do you got?
Alright, well, we already visited, but I'm just going to go over it
totally.
just a little bit more. New Avengers number 24 again. Like I said, Luke Cage and Jessica's dialogue on there. Totally worth checking out. The other thing that this issue really brought to mind, there's a point behind AVX from here. It kind of explains a little bit more as to... We already know that, you know, the Avengers view Hope as a threat, but I just kind of, for me, it helps provide a bit more of a vantage point.
Do we? Whoa. That's what this is about? So, like, Avengers think that Hope is going to kill everybody?
Was the Phoenix?
Oh, yeah, I did read that. Okay, so the reason for this whole Avengers X is Hope is going to get the Phoenix Force,
Right.
Eliminate the world.
Right. And that's what they're scared of because of what happened previously, whereas Cyclops and them are like, oh, this is an opportunity to save the mutant race, so naturally they're going to get defensive about it. And so, you know, because the main line does, you know, a decent job of explaining it, but for once, I can vouch for a spin-off and say that this was a worthwhile read on behalf of Luke Cage,
and
on
it's
behalf of where the Avengers are coming from.
I like that it's just in New Avengers as well.
Right.
A lot of people who are going to be buying Avengers vs. X-Men are already reading the New Avengers.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, definitely. So it was just before it leads up to where they jump out of the plane to fight the X-Men, so.
Cool. The next one is I'll do Thief of Thieves, another Image title. We're just going Image titles right off the bat here because I like to promote them the most. And Thief of Thieves, Nick Spencer and Robert Kirkman. Good issue. You know, we've really delved deeper into, he really is retired and their FBI is still trying to get him, and he's finding all the loopholes to get around it, and it's just really good. Dialogue still. There are some parts where I think Nick Spencer was really trying to get you to laugh and didn't always hit. So there was a few down parts on there, but I do like this overall story. And it was in the news that I saw today that this has been optioned for to be developed into a TV series through AMC. This is Robert Kirkman's book, so we all know that Robert Kirkman is Walking Dead. Walking Dead, biggest cable TV show ever. Most viewers than any other TV show on basic cable. So, of course, AMC is like, hey, Kirkman, let's get some more of this magic going that you got. And it's great to see that this is coming out. Hopefully, maybe the first 6 issues suck. The TV series starts. I sell them for $500. I can only dream.
Me?
You're up.
Woo! DC. God, I just want to send you roses right now. F. Batman Arkham Unhinged, #1. This series has been in the shadows for me. I don't know why I was so out of the loop with this. I heard about it. Mike, you know who you are. One of our best contributors
Mike,
on Facebook.
Yep.
You are a genius. You told me about it. And I was like, man, maybe it's just a digital only or something. But this is on the shelf today, and oh my god, I'm glad I got it. Cover says it all. You got Two-Face and Catwoman in there. Obviously, I read Catwoman steadily, so one of my favorite characters. Hello, Arkham equals villainy. John is happy. Good issue. Great issue all in all. Whether or not it is in continuity, probably not, based on the fact that it's on the video game.
Yeah, well, it's in continuity of the video game. I mean, it's just not in DC
with
New 52.
Right. But I'm totally going to ride with this one until the wheels fall off. Unless it just horribly sucks. But it was fun. I can't get over how fun it was. Maybe I'll go get the video game. I don't know. Maybe we'll do our first video game review over an old video game.
Well, I think they're always coming out with new Batman video games because they do so well. So.
But great issue. I totally recommend it if you want to try something. Check it out. It's a DC #1. So
we should do a review on DC Online. It just went free. You can play the massive multiplayer with online game.
Maybe we can get footage of Skylar playing.
Yeah, Skylar. He's probably playing video games on DC Online while he should be editing our fucking videos. Next one is Saga. Saga #2 is out. We made it. We're already to the second month. Can you believe we already got 2 issues of this, guys? There's the first one got here. We're going to be promoting that constantly. Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples. It is so good. And this, I mean, we're moving along very quickly. You got that great Brian K. Vaughan dialogue, but then you're just great plot points just busting out. Boom, 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 boom. And shit's going crazy. So I can't pick this up or, say get this enough. I love it. Another guy on the Facebook group, A Comic Book Look, check us out, join. Mark, I gave him crap he posted his stack, all his comics laid out. He put a picture up and he's like, this week's grabs. And I just jokingly gave him crap. Hey man, where's Saga? And this week he put his stuff up and he had Saga. I was like, yeah, that boy. So yeah, nice way to pick that up.
So,
yep.
Well, up next, I'm just doing my civic duty, you guys, because I'm heavily involved with the political scene. So naturally, I picked up Carnage USA, #5 of 5. The cover has him saluting the American flag. But, Tom, I mean, seriously, I know that the artwork you might be turned off by. I like this cover. No, seriously, because of the texture, the detail. It's grimy, but it's fun.
Dude, this is straight up... This is what I think of the comics that you love.
Dark and stupid?
Yeah, well, no. I didn't say it. I'm just reading his mind. Sorry, Emma Frost. I'm just saying, it's like, first of all, Carnage. Hate that character. Second of all, Clayton Crane.
Oh, man.
I understand he's very good with a computer and renderizing these pictures, but you know what? They don't look like comic books to me. I hate them. And I know that John likes them. I don't mean to put you down. It's just, that's not my bag.
I don't know, man.
Wouldn't read that. I wouldn't touch it with 10-foot pole.
Really? It's the best read ever.
But I know that's what I mean. That's so you, dude. It's not like
so.
It's just like
so. Check this out. This redeemed itself, okay? And I'll try to get a picture up of this too, but they both lost their legs because the symbiotes ran away.
Okay.
Right? So, Cletus goes, what do we do now? And Flash goes, well, let's ask my friend here with a meat hook in his hand and crawls towards him.
So Flash is going to kill him.
They're going at it. You got hooks and arms, and then later on,
like
Cletus puts a meat hook in there and pulls the chain and pulls him up.
When did Flash Thompson get so brutal?
Flash Thompson wears the symbiote just as much as Cletus does. Therefore, the brain goes a little... Actually, you have a very valid point. I don't know where that came from. Because he's supposed to be a soldier, and he has a girlfriend, doesn't he? That's always questioning his whereabouts. I stopped reading Venom a long time ago.
I don't know, me neither.
Shut up, Tom. A good
I'm
question,
sorry.
but I hate you. Totally took the wind out of my sails. Your turn. This is why they like our show.
I'm sorry,
I get
brother.
schooled every...
Okay, the next one is... Out of the new books from Vertigo's 4 new books, they all sucked except for this one. And Saucer Country, it continued to be good. You were almost, it was like perplexed because, spoilers, at the end she tells like her advisors that she's running for president. She comes out and she goes, "I've been abducted by aliens," and you're like, oh, she just tells them that. Well, and you're like, they're just going to go with it, and then this starts on, they're like, definitely not going to just go with it. And they're like, what the fuck? I quit, I'm not going to work with you, you're crazy. And it just continues to be really good. So, check this out. If you're looking for a new series to jump onto, it's going to be an ongoing from Vertigo. We're only on issue number 2, so, it's definitely in time. Saga and Saucer Country are both great books to pick up. And I'm just going to, since we're, I didn't read any of these other ones, I'm just going to go through another one. Is Peter Panzerfaust. I liked it. I liked the first 2, and they were good. The second one actually did have a really good spin at the end that I ended up really liking, and so, but it just didn't blow me out of the water or anything, and I do have a heavy stack, so I haven't read this yet, but if it doesn't wow me, I will be thinking about dropping it after the first arc, so we'll see where it goes from there. But,
Uncanny X-Men number 10. Whoa, everything's just flying crazy on this cover. We meet a new spanking new villain that's immaculate.
That's his name?
No, his name's Units. Oh. But he's immaculate, and I say that because he solves problems, and he does it pretty darn efficiently. He actually, Hope and her little team, yeah. I stopped reading that book a long time ago too, but Hope and her team appeared on the scene, and he basically sent all 4 of them home and kept Hope there. And Hope's trying to befriend him or whatever. This is just kind of a filler for me, I'll be honest with you. It's intriguing because, he tricks Danger at the end of the issue, spoiler alert. You actually want to go get Hope for me. I know that you're the warden, but you actually want to do this because I'm superior to you. And she's like, oh, okay, pretty much, and bends over and takes it up the metal hiney. Whatever. I mean, but the bottom line is that this guy just comes in and trumps the Extinction team, which is Scott's new team to prevent all... Well, that just failed. So, Uncanny X-Men number 10. We haven't been rating on this one. God damn it, 1 out of 10. Get with it,
1 out of 10. Holy shit.
Yeah, like this really needs to step it up because it was cool. Whatever. It just didn't do it.
It's not cool if it's number 1. So I mean, it's not cool.
Yeah, I can't.
If it's a 1 out of 10, it's not cool.
I can't vouch for that.
All right, I'll just finish it up. I haven't read these books, but we got Fantastic Four 605. I'm going to continue on with Hickman's story until he's finished, and it's kind of wrapped up, so we'll kind of see where they kind of go from there. The Shade, you guys know that I love Starman, and I'm going to continue to read this. And it's kind of an interesting story and who he's hooking up with and working with, and you still get that old school James Robinson, and then the Unwritten. Still glad to see that this is going on, and I thought it was going to end. It seems to not be ending yet. I peeked through here, and we get the crazy rabbit. You get to see a little bit here, too. That was in this one issue where he's, like, really a deranged rabbit that is really kind of, like, leading all these other characters from books up this infinite staircase. Most interesting issue I've read in comics for a very long time. That was, like, probably, 10 issues, 20 issues ago. And so they throw it in again. So I'm really excited to get into it and see what happens. But other than that, that was my stack this week.
Yeah, totally, dude. Well, my last 2 are just kind of hand in hand, little DC kick-assery with Deathstroke and Suicide Squad number 8. Both very strong issues. Harley Quinn tried to run away. And
I gotta say, I don't like that cover.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Again, I know how you feel about cleavage. That's all white, flinging around. But anyways, Suicide Squad number 8 strong issue. Harley Quinn was in, just kind of in the infirmary, if you will. And this issue just basically reiterates why these people are here, or these, and Shark, Man Shark, whatever, too. But just kind of goes through the team's history. So many people have died. I love this book. Yeah. So it's a strong issue, 8 out of 10. Deathstroke number 8. He is so mean to his dad. He visits his dad, like and it wraps up with, "I'm better than you." I loved it. And I would never say that to my dad, but this just proves the fact that Slade is just badass, dude. So he visits his dad in a nursing home, and it's just like, "I'm better than you."
He doesn't give a
shit.
His
dad gurgles. He doesn't even talk.
It's terrible.
So
awesome.
That's my stack-a-roni for the week.
Sweet, sweet, man. All right, guys, it's Comic Book Look, issue 39. Thanks for sticking with us again. John, Tom, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Skylar on the shitty editing, and
what?
Just totally kidding.
He's gonna fuck the video up like
again. I know.
No, but it's intentional.
I ate myself. I totally fucked myself.
If you're nice to him, he'll
made fun of Skylar last time, and he got me back. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
Keep it comic.